ramble on, and then whatever I say, I don't really...
Welcome to the Prisoner2Painter Podcast, stories of inspiration, where we talk about mental health, addiction, religion, becoming a business owner and self-sufficient, for what, when, where, and why. Join us and we can be your local hope dealer.
Inspiration and dedication. I came a long way from sleeping in them pages. I got my life back. I feel amazing. Life's a book, don't get stuck on sad pages. Rainy days with no money. Hard work leads to days that are sunny. Looking back, it was all needed. The problems, the pain, the trauma, the grieving. You are now tuned into the Prisoner to Painter. Prisoner to Painter. Hard work, dedication. Rainy days, inspiration. Prisoner to Painter.
And now, a word from your local hope dealer.
That's, yeah.
Welcome to the Prisoner2Painter Podcast. I'm Nathan McDermott.
And I'm Katie McDermott.
And today joining us is Nathaniel Rowley. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for having the courage to tell your story. We started childhood and worked where we are now. I have yet to find a good way to transition into the first question. So that is me transitioning into the first question. Where were you born and raised at?
I'm a native. I've been born, I was born here in Jackson, right out in Parma, Michigan. I grew up there for 18 years, and then I probably moved around 19, or a little bit like right after 18.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've lived here my whole life. I've thought about moving a couple times, but just with my family being here, it's hard right now.
Well, dude, you told me a little bit about your family dynamic out on the porch, so I'm excited to ask this. What was your family dynamic like? How many siblings?
It was. I was. If you've seen Home Alone, everyone's pretty much seen. If you're born in America, you've seen Home Alone. I was like Kevin McAllister, basically. When my dad wasn't rich like Kevin McAllister's dad, a lot of friends did think that sometimes. But my mom and dad worked at Meijer, both of them. They both retired from Meijer and worked there almost their whole lives.
Right on.
Yeah, it was interesting. And then I me being the youngest of 9 siblings, it was fun, but at the same time, like I was like, hello, is anyone gonna give me attention? Because like I was, when my parents were in their like late 40s when they had me, or mid 40s. I think my mom was 45 or 44.
Mine too. That's funny.
So like everyone was like, "Man, your mom's like looks like your grandma," you know. Yeah. Like when I like would go to school, and my dad too, you know, they're like your parents look old. I'm like, yeah, well, they are. They're like the same age as your grandparents. Yeah, because my dad's a Vietnam vet, and like, awesome. Yeah, it was cool. You know, like at the same time, like I was proud to like when they'd be like, "Your dad's older." Like, well, he's a Vietnam vet, so like, that aged them just a little bit more too, because like. That and like, you know, my grandparents flew, both my grandparents were in World War II, and my grandpa flew B-27s and B-24 bombers. And then my other grandpa was on a Navy ship, and he did like, you know, the like navigation stuff, like telling them where like certain stuff is. Mm-hmm. You know, he was a little dude in the ship.
Cool.
But, yeah, it was fun growing up being around like all that, but at the same time, it was like weird because I have 6 siblings that were adopted. And then me, my brother, and sister were like, you know, my blood. You know, we were blood siblings to my mom and dad. So there was like a little bit like, oh, okay, like, you know, like I didn't realize it until I was like a little bit older. I was like, oh, like everyone's not like this. You know, it's weird like when I'd go around like other people and they're like, wow, you have a huge family. Yeah. Like, well, some of them are adopted, and like one of them is like, you know, like. Was really really big, like really obese. She's actually passed away from it, and like that was even harder. Yeah, it was harder, like because like she was like the size of Gilbert Grape's mom. Like that's that big.
Yeah,
that movie I tell you.
Yeah, I know.
It was really good, and that's a good movie, dude. But like she was a big girl, and like she like had this agoraphobia. She didn't want to go out in public, and that made it worse. So like it was just like strange, just seeing like all the different struggles each one of my siblings went through because of that. Like they were just handed a fumbled ball in life, you know.
Dude, this is why I love this podcast. If it doesn't help anybody else, which it does, but if it doesn't help anybody else, it helps me and her. Just the overlap. My mom had me late as well. Had me at 45. She beat her agoraphobia. So
that's
so
cool.
It's just really,
my house
so it's just really cool hearing overlap.
That's awesome.
You know, so don't help the public. It helps us every time. So
no, I completely like I understood her like struggle too, because like people are mean. Yeah. They're like, because like I grew up with ADHD, all the like little like ADD, what was the other one?
OCD.
OCD
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
get it.
And now when my friend got murdered next to me, it was
PTSD.
PTSD. Yeah. So I was like, dude, this sucks. I have all these.
Yeah, the whole alphabet.
Yeah, and then, I've tried to cope with it, and I've lost jobs because of it, because I just can't keep my mouth shut, and I'm just I say what's on my sleeve, and I'm just like, oh shit, this is how I feel, but I got bullied a lot too, because I tried to set trends before that was popular in my school, because it was a country school, full of a bunch of country bumpkin kids.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Western.
Okay.
So it was not cool to be wearing skinny jeans when all these kids were wearing camouflage. Yeah.
Pants.
Yeah, the purple doors, because I wore purple corduroys and purple shoes, and they were skin tight, and a bunch of bracelets and whatnot.
Yeah, I get
emo
it.
cut.
I was an emo kid
Yeah.
in Concord.
So I got bullied all the time.
I get it.
Kids are you're gay, and I'm like, no, girls love it.
Yeah.
They love it. It's a popular thing out west, but you'll get along. You'll see it soon, and eventually it did become popular. It was weird when right towards senior year, I dropped the emo thing and went more just myself. Just found my identity more towards the end of high school. It was cool. But and I ended up going to be friends with those kids that once were bullying me. My friends ended up selling them weed and shit. It was cool.
Yeah.
But everything came back to what it needed to be when I was graduating.
Awesome. Growing up, who was the most influential person in your life?
Influential, famous, or I knew.
Either.
Either.
Who heavily influenced I guess your day-to-day decisions or choices that you would make early on in life, or who did you look up to growing up?
It was definitely first was my dad, and then for science fiction, not science fiction, but fictional, it definitely was Spider-Man. I still to this day, I'm geeked for the new movie coming out. I just bought a more realistic mask that I probably should have, just so I could wear it when the movie comes out. I'm a geek for it. And then it's just Spider-Man was just something I could go back to and be okay, Peter Parker struggles, does all this shit, and then he can still go out and help people.
Yeah.
It's not about him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would probably be Spider-Man, and then for skateboarding, it was Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk was a big one, and then Bam Margera.
Right.
I was these dudes are the shit.
Yeah. They still are.
I was big fan of Viva Bam.
Me too. Yeah, I have this brother that's got fetal alcohol syndrome, which is he's a really cool dude, but he's got a really bad temper, and me and my friend would just fuck with him sometimes because of it, and we got that all because of how Bam treated Phil and fucking Don Vito. Dude, we set up traps in the middle of the night when he'd get up at 4:00 because he was a janitor at the hospital, because these companies like to take advantage of people that are got disabilities, and then they work them like a dog.
Yeah.
It sucks to see it everywhere, nowadays. But then, we were no better. We were 15, 16-year-old kids. We'd set up dental floss with all these traps, so you'd get out of the room and just things would start falling. Just dumb stuff like that, dude. Waking him up in the night, doing antiquing, and he'd just he'd get mad and almost beat our asses, because he had fetal alcohol syndrome, super strength, dude, and we'd get so scared, but it was worth it, the adrenaline rush.
Well, hell, you can't blame the guy either, though.
No. Yeah, and he's a little dude, he's a little guy, he's probably 5 foot, he's little.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but he's a strong dude, it's crazy. And he's Greek too, so I don't know if that's anything that Greek strength, dude. Yeah. But he's got a full set of black hair still, and he's 60 years old.
Dang.
Yeah, my oldest brother he's the oldest of all the siblings, and he was actually one of the first of my parents, the second that they adopted.
Okay.
My first sibling was Jeff that they adopted, and he's Indian, and he was a little baby when they adopted him. Cool. And they adopted my brother when he was 12, but my parents were, I think, 20, 21.
Okay.
Today they wouldn't allow it, but then it was back in the 60s, they were completely cool with it. I don't know if it was just because he was getting to that age where they're he's what they call it, emancipate him or something Yeah, so they ended up just adopting him out of wow, he's a nice kid. I can't believe no one's adopted him yet just because of this. Yeah. And that was really hard to do even back then.
Man. What was your favorite cereal growing up?
Favorite cereal? They always make those pops sound so good. I like those a lot. I had them recently. They taste like nothing, you know. I would always eat those, man. Dude, they had those little like Pops commercials. You remember those?
Mm-hmm.
And then probably Fruity Pebbles, dude. That was
Always.
Fruity Pebbles.
That is a staple on the Mount Rushmore of cereal. Fruity Pebbles is always up there.
Yo,
Period.
it gets stuck in your teeth, and it's crazy to like wake up the night like after, and you're like, dude, what did I do? And then you eat like three or four bowls of them. And you gotta do it just right. You can't do too much milk. It's gotta be just
crunchy.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Crunchy cereal. Crunchy. Yeah.
There can't be too much, like, it's gotta be like just enough water tension for them to like float just off the bottom.
Yeah, and it's the cereal that doesn't hurt the roof of your mouth. You know, you can get by with like eating those a bunch, and like Captain Crunch, like your mouth's
one bowl, you're done.
Absolutely destroyed. I always tell people they're masochists when that's their favorite cereal.
Yeah.
Man, if you could go back in history to one day, only to observe, you cannot change anything, what day in history would it be and why?
Ooh, that's a good one, man. Because there's some stuff that's happened. I was just talking to a customer the other day. If I could have a DeLorean, I wouldn't tell nobody about it. You know, the Back to the Future car. Yeah. I would just like keep that in the garage, just go back every now and then at certain times. I wouldn't take anything with me. I see what happened in the Avengers and with Marty McFly. I'm not doing any of that. But like, I would just see it, you know, just for how it is. But if I could pick one day, maybe like the day like I was conceived. Like it sounds really fucked up. Like not like why my parents are doing it, but like I'd like to know how the day was, you know, because that's before I existed.
Yeah.
Because like I'm like a big thing with like I don't know, like everything that happened before I was like, here wasn't even real, you know. Like
I feel that.
I don't know. Like I've always just looked like, did I just turn on one day? Like not like the Matrix, you know, but like something like where it's like, well, like I would love to see the proof because all I've seen everything is just in photos and everything. You know, from other people talking about the past. You know, that's the only way you can ever even learn from anything from the past is just through other people telling you or writing it down. Yeah. So it's like, is it true?
Exactly.
I don't know, man. So probably just that first fucking day, you know.
Do you remember what your earliest thoughts were?
My first earliest thoughts, I've got this one down pretty good because it was when I was really little. My wife she loves this, but like she hates when I say it really fucking happened. So my sister had kittens. Really little ones. I was probably like 5 years old, and I remember I loved like anything Disney movie animals wise. Like I'm surprised I'm not a vegan today because of those movies. But I love like steak and all that.
I love this so far. I love this.
I was opening up her door and like I had these little kittens that would follow me around and like whatnot. And she always had cats, and they would always hang out in her room. And I was going in there, and one was following behind me, and I shut the door behind me. And the tail was just a little bit outside and got like from the door, and it went "Ay Chihuahua." I swear to God, it said fucking "Ay Chihuahua," and I was just like, "What the hell?" Like the cat talked, and like for like that whole day, I just tried to get the cat to talk. I was like, "This kitten can talk." I know it said "Ay Chihuahua," and like if I can go far enough back, it's that, and then like Toy Story, like watching Toy Story with my family.
Yep.
I was around 5 when that first came out. Movie, like just being in a big movie theater, like just something clicked. You know, it's like, did you ever see that movie, Look Who's Talking?
Yes.
Yeah, and like it's like, they call it crossing over, I think, in that.
It's like Baby Geniuses.
Baby Geniuses, that's what it is. I was like, I think that was my moment because I was just like, oh, dude, toys are like, they could come alive, you know, like this is crazy. Or maybe it was like, because my parents were so old, they watched nothing but black and white around me. And then a big one they watched was Wizard of Oz. And you know how it goes from black to white to color?
Yeah.
I thought at some point in the world that was like that. Everything was black and white.
And they're just starting to color.
And everything was just color. Because I was like, Mom, Dad, when you guys were younger, everything was black and white. When did the world get color? Like, I was just like, what the heck? Like, I remember vividly like asking that in like the back of like my dad's old like what was it, Cutlass or something like that. And he was like, what are you talking about? Like, and like the whole entire, like my brother and sister, like you cannot literally think the world was black and white. I was like, no, there's a movie that just came out. It was that one with like, what, not Brandon, no, it was Tobey Maguire.
Pleasantville.
Yes. And I was like, I had just seen that or something like that. And I was just like, well, no way. Like they had to have been like black and white, right? Because like, why did everything just get colored? And you guys were showing me these movies are all black and white.
Yeah.
And they were just like, no, just the film wasn't black and white. Like it was black and white. They didn't know how to get color yet in the film. They had to break that down. I was just completely blown away by it. My little naive, maybe slightly autistic mind. I don't know. I just couldn't put it together. I was like, whoa, this is wild. You know, but then those are like my first few memories because I was like 5.
Okay. What is your least favorite childhood memory?
Least favorite childhood memory was probably when my dog died.
Okay.
That was like the first time I've ever seen. Like my grandpa died, but I was 5. I didn't remember that really. That's almost one of my first memories too, because I was playing with like one of those little. It was a raisin with like a guitar. One of those little things where you remember those? Like,
The California raisins?
Yes, that was it. Yeah, and I remember playing with that while everyone was crying, like in the chairs, you know, at the funeral, looking at the vines. Like, oh, that looks gross. Why does your grandpa look like that?
Yeah.
But that was one of my first ones. But like, I would have to say like least favorite memory would either be that with my grandpa or the dog, Bailey, because I was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like nobody like told me like they don't come back. Like that sucks.
Yeah.
Like you can't like the next day you're like, oh, they're gonna be here, and then they're like, oh, they're not. Like shit.
What's your on the reverse side? What's your favorite childhood memory?
Favorite childhood memory. That right off the bat, I'd have to say going to like the love notes with my dad.
Cool.
None of the dads came. My dad did.
Awesome.
It was cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Working into school, you kind of said you already went to Western. What was your favorite subject, and who was your favorite teacher?
Mr. Kim, and he was my English teacher. Yeah.
Oh, so favorite subject in favorite teacher were English.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I hated school up until 12th grade. Yeah, I don't know how I graduated. It was really bad. Because I started off in normal. They were like, oh, this kid's just, you know, I wasn't even behind. And then I had this really mean teacher in 3rd grade, and she made me hate and rebel school.
Mm-hmm.
And then that made me have to get put into this learning disability class. And then that was in 4th grade. And then she wanted to move schools because in Western there was 3 schools, Bean, Warren, what's the other? Parma. That's the one I had to go from. I had to go from Bean to Parma and move with that teacher because Bean didn't have a special learning teacher. She was the only one, or there was EMI.
So you had to follow the teacher.
There was no in between at the time. They were just starting to come up with team teaching, I think is what it was called, where like teachers would have a backup teacher in the class because it's just like not all these kids are on the same level.
Yeah,
one teacher could catch it. And that was more towards like my 6th grade year they started doing the team teaching. But until then, I had to follow this teacher around from 4th grade until 5th grade until I got into middle school, which was really horrible because they would put me in this different class for the whole entire like 4 or 5 hours of the day, and then throw me with normal kids for gym, recess, lunch, you know, and then like normal like I think I've always done good in science and history because that shit just intrigued me.
Yeah, for sure.
But English and math, I was always just a little like, shit, he's not getting it. He's not getting it. I didn't want to get it.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, I didn't want to.
Your, or fucking there.
Where.
Yeah, and then you go to other countries and our slang and swag so different, and they're just like, Americans are so hard, you know, because of this stuff. And I'm just like, you guys have different things too. But anyways, like, it was really rough for me. And so 12th grade, I found a teacher. He was like, oh, dude, you just don't like boring teachers. You don't like teachers that are dead set in their ways. And I'd every now and then get a teacher that wasn't like that, and they pushed me a little bit further. Like same thing happened, and I didn't graduate on purpose because of my dad retiring while I was still in school and being a Vietnam vet. I got paid Social Security for it, about $1,100 a month. My last senior year. So I purposely got kicked out by trying to do a senior prank by running through the school in my scooter. I got kicked out before I could do it, and I didn't take my ACTs. So I had to do it again, which is what I wanted, because then if I didn't graduate, I kept getting paid that Social Security.
Another year of.
And I was like, dude, fuck working this 9-to-5 pizza job. That was my first job.
$1,100 probably better than what you would have gotten.
Yeah, it was $7.50 an hour back in 2009. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to graduate on purpose. I'm not going to walk with my class. Most of these kids started to do their own thing. I was like already talking about working in the cannabis industry. That was what my senior presentation was for, was going out to this college called Amsterdam University. And I just had a good teacher like through 12th grade be like, okay, you got this, dude. You can do it. Like, don't listen to these fucking other, your counselor, all these people. Like, you just want to rebel, and that's normal at your age. Yeah. And then your dad, with what your dad's going through, like, it's just in your blood, you know. So I was like, yeah, fuck this shit. So then 13th grade, basically, like I graduated on 4/20, and I did it on purpose. I did the counted out the days. I was like, when do I finish this Geometry 2 book? Like, so I can get out right on the 19th and not have to go to school on 4/20.
Heck yeah.
And I did that, and I was like pumped because like my Social Security was just about to run out after March, my birthday.
So it worked out really good.
It was great, yeah. And then not only that, like I was like, oh, dude, like I can actually go to college and have a diploma. Yeah. I wasn't gonna get one if I didn't go back. So.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, and then oddly didn't do anything with cannabis. And up until I think I met my wife. Yeah, because I had nothing to do with cannabis. Because after my friend was murdered next to me, I was like, fuck this shit. Like, I don't know if I even want to touch the plant again,
See, I was actually, I didn't know where that fell in your story. So if we can talk a little bit
about that. It was right
that.
After that. Like, okay. I graduated, and then 2 months later, on today, July 6th, he got shot, which was crazy. Yeah, because I was like, fresh out of school, and I was like, okay, maybe I can move in with him. It's what we wanted to do. And my other buddy, who ended up doing great in the industry, he had very wealthy parents, so to help push him along, give him probably that extra little bit of business advice because his dad was a really good business owner already. Yeah. So he ended up going his own ways after my friend getting murdered. But literally that day, we were meeting up with a realtor to go look at a house, and it was right across this tobacco shop on Wildwood. But that happened, so we ended up not being able to do it. It was a crazy event because my buddy was just paying off his college loan, and he had gotten I think $1,500 loan, maybe $3,500 loan for JCC. Okay. And he was like, "Yeah, I want to pay this back," but I literally blew it all, and I had maybe $400 to my name. So he kept buying ounces of weed and trying to flip it to get that back. Yeah. And he was doing a good job, but he was getting really we could tell he was getting greedy, and we were fucking freeloaders. We were younger than him, and he had to actually work a job. His mom was on the brink of kicking him out of her apartment. Oh shit. So he had all this stress. His girlfriend was really stressful. I think she had been cheating on him, so he was just like, this sucks, dude. What do I do? And then that happening that day was just fuck this. I'm not giving you my weed, Yeah. And even with a gun pointed to his head, and it was wild because I had my dad's old hunting rifle one time, and I did this, and he was like, "Oh, well, be careful, man," and he freaked out on me. So for him to still get that, no, that day it was wild.
Must have been in a bad mood.
He was it was weird, It was he even told me, because I had been telling him the whole time that day, right when he was getting the money out of the bank, I was like, dude, I don't think you should do this, I was like, I think you should just sit back and think if this is worth selling to him for anymore. Because I was like, this kid's he's getting sketchy. Yeah. I felt responsible because he only had met me or him through me. Gotcha. And that was because one of my other friends, I had been basically those 2 months living on his couch, partying with all these kids and shit. Because his mom was like, "Hey, do what you guys want. You guys graduated, You can do what you want now, You're not going to, this is in between college is what you're supposed to do." And he was friends with him, and this kid was from Detroit, and we were like, "Oh, this kid's cool, we don't have any thing to be afraid of." And he had bought from him before, and he had been fine. He didn't do anything sketchy when he bought from my friend. But then that day, something seemed off, He's being off about picking it up, different times.
Change the location.
Yeah, sketchy shit how it used to be. Yeah. And then me being he always called me negative me. He was like, "Oh, you're always putting the group down." I was like, "No, dude, if you guys look at it, you guys are gonna get busted. You guys can't keep doing this." Yeah. And we were getting really big into the Illuminati, weird shit, because he had gotten in trouble for a couple of speeding tickets, and they took him down below the courthouse and showed him some spooky shit, and that got his hair on the back of his neck. And he's like, "Dude, no, I'm telling you, all the bloodlines are all what." He was saying, he's like, "It does not matter." He's like, and it keeps going, man. Even the people on the dealerships, he's like, "You just don't get this money." And it goes back to the moonshine days. He just got so deep into it, and the Masons and all this stuff. He's like, "I'm telling you." So he knew something was going on, and you just see all this stuff now going on in the world. You're like, whoa, there really are trying to manipulate us.
I'm 100%.
And like it was like strange because like we were like, you know, like good buddies, but like anything I tried to tell him, it was just like, you're my little brother. I'm not gonna listen to you. So like, he didn't care that day. And then that happened, and then it took about 5 years to get the kid convicted for murdering him because I was the only witness. He wasn't talking. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, now I have to look over my shoulder because I'm the only witness. Yeah. And I had been getting told from, like, people that I knew, they're like, you need to get the fuck out of Jackson. Yeah. Because they're coming at you. Yeah. You're done. Like, that's, they don't want you anymore, like, around, you know, because if you get locked up or get killed, then he's fucking good.
Free,
you know? Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I was just chilling with him. Like, I had nothing to do with this. So like, it was crazy. Like, because even when he got shot, I told the cops, I was like, oh, it was a GTA. Like, I didn't want my friend to go to jail. I didn't know he was dead. Mm-hmm. You know, like, but like at the same time, like just from like when it happened, I could tell like he wasn't alive, but like you get like adrenaline.
No, I get for sure.
And you want to be positive. Yeah. And that was literally the fucking last conversation he told me. He's like, you need to be positive. Yeah. So I was like, oh, he's good. Yeah. And then they told me, I was like, what the fuck? Like these cool fucking looking detectives. Like one of them looked like he looked like Will Smith, you know, from Men in Black before he gets the, you know, his suit. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck, dude? And then he was like, yeah, he's dead, you know. I was like, what? Yeah. And they're like, and you better watch your shit. And like I was just like, so like for 5 years I was just like shitting my pants. Yeah. Well, didn't smoke really. All my friends like just separated from me. It was weird because I was like, well, okay, like we don't skate together anymore. Like what do we do? You know? So like I ended up having a kid and then ended up having another kid. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, shit, like, well, like all my friends have done this shit into this cannabis industry because it was just starting to become a thing with like vapes and like you could get it through like dispensaries, but like they had to be medical. Yeah. And I was just sitting in the back burner like, I wish I could join you, dude, since I'm the one that, like, you know, had to go through court, convict this kid. Yeah. You know, like, I had to witness all this shit. I just want to join you guys, you know, and, like, they were all just like, you know, you're a snitch, you know. Like, you've had too much drama behind you, you know, to, like, bring you along is what it almost felt like. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, that's fine with me, you know, I'll do my own thing. Yeah. You know, and then my kid's mom and I like ended up splitting up. We just weren't good together. You know, like she witnessed all this stuff I went through with my friend, and I was like, oh, you know, this is it. You know, like I just do my own thing with skateboarding and like, you know, cannabis and try to figure it out from there. And I ended up hanging back out with my other friend again. You know, the one I met, the kid that shot my friend through. Just started going down like a really bad road, you know, like tried to move out to Colorado. Didn't know if I wanted to be a dad to my own kids anymore because I was like afraid of child support. Yeah. I was like, I don't want to just pay for another dude's condoms. You cheated on me. Yeah. Like I was like, this sucks. Like I was like, I just tried to work at all these fucking shitty factory jobs, make ends meet. Like anytime I see a young dad, I'm like, you better fucking hope she's loyal. Yeah. You better hope she's loyal, dude. Like you can work your ass off and do all this shit. Does not mean shit, dude. If she's not like gonna like help cook, clean, pick up, do any of these other things, it makes you be like, well, what am I doing? You know, like it ends up being really stressful. And then like the kids have to be around it. You don't want to raise a kid like that. So we worked it out. We were like, okay, we're gonna not raise the kids in this environment. You know, it's not good. And we went our own ways. And which is what got me to be where I was able to meet the woman I'm with now. Awesome. Like it took me a couple of years to figure out my shit, like get a job. I ended up cooking. Thought I was gonna take up culinary arts and do all this shit. I was like, oh, this is the shit. You know, I love it. Yeah. I'm gonna be a cook. And I was like, fuck this cannabis thing. These guys can do this. Fuck them. You know, they don't have anything to do with me. You know, it was weird because my friend just had a kid. Like my best friend. Like I was like, you know, we should be tight friends, but like, you know, and like should be working alongside you. Yeah. But like, you just never wanted to hang out with me. You know, so I was like, oh, well, okay, fuck this, you know. But then I met her and it all worked out because I was like, she didn't want to give me the time of day when she met me because she kind of like knew my past a little bit from these dudes. And she's like, he's a wild card, you know, like he's got a quite different past, you know. So the second time I talked to her was after a friend died and like, you know, just she ended up, you know, liking me enough to where she wanted to like hang out with me more. So, and then her dad got the dispensary. So I was like, wow, like, I ended up getting into this one way or another. Like the universe found a fucking way. It was just through being positive. That was my thing though. I was like, all right, the negative shit's not getting me anywhere. Like, fuck you, friends. You know, like, I'd still come around and be like, it sucked.
Yeah.
It was a dick move.
Yeah.
You're a dick for it. But, like, that's just kind of always been your character, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's how your parents raised you.
Yeah.
You know, like, I can't hate on that. And that's what started making me have a lot of sympathy for, like, everything, you know? Like, people that are fucking fucked in the head, you know? And just like, at one point, they were just a baby.
Somebody did it to them.
Yeah,
or
just a little kid.
circumstances or events led them to that.
And the youth is so fragile, man. Like, and I see my kids and just like having just to have like that little bit of like my dad in me and like that come out sometimes in front of my kids. I'm just like, at the end of the night, I have to break that down to them, you know. And then they're like, oh, I get it. Yeah, your dad is a dick, you know. Like, they don't say that, but like, I grandpa is a dick, you know. Sometimes so I'm like, yeah, you know, he's a Vietnam vet, you know. It was hard. He was like Red Foreman the whole
rough
time.
around the edges.
He was, you know, like he never really would like, you know, give me that hug, you know, like I was looking for. So I was like, but at the same time, like he was like starting to taught me how to like hold a gun or taught me how to fish, you know, like certain things that dads will do, you know, and that's a big thing, you know.
Yes, sir. If you could go back and if you could have dinner with one person in history, who would it be and why?
If I could have dinner with one person in his, this would be Jesus.
Okay.
Okay, what are you eating with Jesus?
And that's if Jesus is real. I mean, I believe to a certain, like, I believe like anybody would believe in something that had like they've never met, like not Pinocchio, but like Mark Twain. I've never met Mark Twain. You know, like there's writings of Mark Twain, so like I believe in it like that, and like I would like to meet like Jesus stuff. Like that, you know, that'd be really.
What you eating though? What are you gonna eat?
What am I eating?
Yeah, you eating?
Probably I love chicken. That's my favorite thing to eat. I love anything with chicken, fried chicken, regular chicken breast, the chicken wing. I love chicken.
I don't want to save this till the end, and I don't know if I should read it, but I'm going to. For what it's worth, I'm the older brother of the guy who unfortunately killed your friend, and I just want to send my condolences. Yes, I know it's years later, but I am sorry. From Nathaniel Potter.
That's cool. Yeah, because I've always like I've never hated Kadeem for doing it. Like that was like, you know, he was in a situation I've never been in my life, and me having siblings, I know like when you've been handed a fumbled ball, and like I was like, you know, he was acting irrational that day too, and like my friend was, and like I can't even believe I turned back when I got out of the car, but like I heard the pop and like I knew it was a 22, so I was like, fuck, they bounced. Like I hope he's okay.
Yeah,
so, like and then he said, ah, fuck. So I was like, that doesn't sound okay. So like it was really strange because like, you know, like when he did end up like getting convicted, it was through the most simplest thing the detective told me, and I was like, wow, that was all it was. And like I was like, it just seemed like to me like I was like, that's all that needed to be done was like that little bit of honesty on his end. And then, you know, my friend's mom, like I recently just was at the gym and seen her. And like, it was weird for me because I have, like I said, 8 siblings. I'm the youngest of 9. Ben was the only kid of his mom. So like, I've always been like, that should have been like, you know, if it would have been me, that grief, you know, you're left with for the longest time. Like I couldn't go up to her that day because I was like, you know, because I could see that whole entire funeral, like, you know, they told me not to say anything about smoking, which was crazy because I was like, that's all. Yeah, I wouldn't even have known Ben if it wasn't for weed, you know. So like, it was like it had to be said, and then it was raining when we were putting him into the ground. It was crazy because like we were all just like bawling our eyes out, and everyone was saying their last words. This is what I think the priest said to do, you know. Like so we were like, I'm gonna miss hanging out with you. I'm gonna miss, you know, skateboarding with you, playing basketball, all the things he loved to do. And it just got fucking off. And I was like, right as soon as he hit the ground, I was like, I'm gonna miss smoking with you. Yeah. Everyone heard it, and it stopped raining. And I was like, whoa, like, of course. And like, I'm not a religious dude, but like, that made me be like, shit. And, you know, like, because like that was his thing. He's like, we were all high on mushrooms one time, like on Halloween, like took way too much, and I thought I was gonna perma trip, and like he came up to me and like he was like, hey Nate, I want to go out and talk to you because he was tripping too, and like I don't want to talk about Jesus, and it spooked him the fuck out because like he's like, out of all of us, you should be the one that's the closest to Jesus because your grandpa was a deacon for St. Mary's, and I was like, yeah, I find something a little suspicious about like the Catholic religion and all the little boy things they do, like it just seems a little off. And I think that church has been busted for a little bit too, and they sent the guy off to Austria or something like that. Yeah. But like, just weird things. And it was weird that my grandpa got out of it, It was weird he even got into it because he was a cop for the county. So like, it was weird, like getting like that little bit of like, oh shit, like, is this just a sign from God? Mm-hmm. But then like throughout my life, like through these 17 or 16 years he's been dead, I'm like, I've seen little bits like him like keep going. Yeah. Like it's great, like, but it's like, what is it? Like, is it God or is it just like us? Is it the universe? And that's what like I think that like mushroom trip really showed me that day. Like there's no ego, and I think when I like wear clothes or any of the shit hiding my identity, like all of us, we're trying to come up with our own little characters, our own little Marty McFlys or Peter Parkers or whatever it is, But I think like he tries to show me like, no, it's more. It's like you're even more than that, like the Star Wars shit, like the Force type of shit. And like I've always had like, his name's Ben, so like I've had like the Ben Kenobi, the Ben Parker, like I'm just like, shit, like, is he my, like, force to, like, make sure I stay on the right path? Because, like, my friend got into heroin, crack, it's sad. Like, he's gotten really into addiction. He's the one that got me into weed in the first place, dude. I was this little soccer player, fucking innocent kid that, like, I got into skateboarding because of grind and Marty McFly and fucking, what was it, Tony Hawk doing the 900. I was like, holy shit, like, skateboarding's the shit, Tony Hawk pro skater. And my brother gave me a pair of shoes from Korea that he got. And he was like, oh, I'm never going to wear these poofy ass things. You can have them. There's some DVSs. And I was like, dude, these are sweet, man. Like, I want to do this. And my mom wouldn't let me do it because, like, she's like, you should do soccer. You're good at soccer, because my team that year was undefeated. We had done really good. And, like, like I was like, well, I don't have a dad to throw the ball with or kick the ball with. Like, this is my sport, I think, because I can do it on my own. Yeah. You don't have to take me to these games anymore. So I got heavily into skateboarding because of that. And I think that's what my friend Ben's always kind of directing me towards, like, awesome. Back towards skateboarding, back towards like some type of like faith into something. Not even like the long-haired Jesus. Like, I've even looked like him myself sometimes. But like just something where like you can like grab onto and like have hope. Because like during like times like right now, it's like it's hard. It's hard, like, but I think it's always been hard, dude. I don't think like being a human's easy. It's fucking hard. Yeah. Like like right there, fighting, not crying. It's like I don't want to do it because it's like it's embarrassing. But like we all do it. Yeah. We're gonna do it with our wives later. We're gonna do it with our moms or dad, whatever it's gonna be. But like it's hard to do it when someone's watching that you don't know. But I've done it tons of times. And then you forget about it. But I think a lot of that, like, what I'm trying to get into the skate park is like showing like, hey, there's no direction for youth right now. They're fucking lost. Yeah. They're on their phones all the time. They're seeing fucked shit. Like dudes get shot in the neck. Yeah. But we all grew up, like our generation grew up on fucking good shit. Like Bam Margera, fucking good shit. Like we grew up like, nah, we don't need to go to a war and fight people and kill people for fucking what? Because you grew up on a certain side of the planet and that's why your skin looks like that. Yeah. Like, that's the only reason why, is like, that's why. And then we're so caught up in like, oh, this place has been this place for so long. Egypt's been this for 2,000 years. We've been this for 250 years. It's like, no, but it's always just been a planet, though. At the end of the day, it's really, as hippie as it fucking sounds, it's just a planet, man.
We have drawn all the lines. Yeah. Like, we drew the lines.
Exactly.
Like we decided what was there. So.
And like those astronauts said, like, when they were up in space, they're like, it's just so crazy that we do that, because like there's no lines when they're up there. Yeah, it's great. Like I think there's like some type of there's always like some type of revolution going on, but I think right now it's even getting more like clear to like our generation. Like I don't think your guys are gonna be able to push us into these fucking like wars and like drones and shit. Like is that what you guys are trying to set up? Like what are you guys trying to do to where you're gonna force us to do some shit? Like what is this AI? Like can it be useful? Like is it gonna take up away all our water? Like
yeah, no kidding.
It gets spooky.
So great. So we got about 20 minutes. And I think we really learned Nathaniel. Like truly, I think we learned, and that's the whole point of this. Is learning not the Nathaniel everybody knows. It's learning the Nathaniel that like maybe not everybody experiences. And I think we accomplished that So I'm happy to move on to where we're at now. One of your big things I know is you're opening up a skate park.
I'm trying to.
I
want to. It's always right there. Like as soon as, like I said, like it's like I want to get the GoFundMe going, and then I'm like, do I want to have just a certain amount of money and then have to work off of that and be tight?
Yeah.
Do I want to, like right now, like with what I'm doing with the dispensary, do I want to deal with somebody in the overhead and like have them breathing down my neck when it comes to certain things not being made? That's the hard part, you know. It's getting someone to like understand, like investing in this is not just investing in it for money. It's not investing in it. It's literally for your community. Like what they did with the bright walls. Like, you know, it's great. It looks pretty. You know, it makes people come here. That's awesome. You know, and like it help even businesses probably too when like they're doing their shows downtown or getting, you know, like other like great places to eat. But like it's like what else can you do to where like it's gonna make the future better? Because like I think it starts with the youth, you know.
Period.
Yeah. And you got all this going on, and like just for like there's just nothing really even with skateboarding, even with schools. I've even noticed too, like you could do something with like a team, like it could be a Jackson High team, a Western team. Like you could do even travel stuff because there's skate parks all around Michigan, stuff like that. And that's always been kind of like my like thing was like, what can I do where I'm still doing the sales part? Like I want to still do like a shop inside where like I have the stuff to sell things to people to be able to skate, ride bikes, scooters. But I also want to be able to like do something inside of there that's like good for the constructive for the community. Like you don't have to come there and spend money. You can come there, hang out on the couch, play some PlayStation 5, whatever you want to do, you know, like play some arcade, whatever, like, you know, like just a couple things where it's like be a mall rat again type of thing. But like the youth doesn't have that.
No, they don't.
They have nothing.
No, I agree. What are you doing for a career right now? I clearly the cannabis industry, but I'm busy. Clearly the cannabis industry, but what are you doing?
That's been like kind of like the last probably 8 years. It's been on and off. That's been the career. It's been hard to even say that around the kids, you know, because now they're getting older and they're questioning things, and I'm just like, I'm just a dope dealer basically. And like my son will even see like, because like there's downtime at the store and I'll be playing my PlayStation or just messing around, and he's like, how you have the coolest job, Dad? You can just play your PlayStation at work. So I'm just trying to not make it look cool like that, you know, because like it is a cool job. That's why a lot of 21-year-olds are getting out and they're like hitting their vapes. I just want to sit around and work at a phone company or fucking at a dispensary and just play on my phone and just hit my vape in the
take off all day.
Yeah, and it's an easy job because you're making tips on the side, you know. But like it's just not something I'm like any more passionate about anymore, to where it's like this is it. I've taken it to a point where I can foresee where it's going now. It's going to end up in the Wild Bills. It's going to end up in gas stations. They'll probably put a cap on the THC amount, gummies and all that.
And that's exactly where it's
They're just waiting for these last few states to legalize. The correction officers in those states are probably having a hard time. But once the booze companies like Budweiser, Marlboros, and stuff like that want to invest fully into it, it's going to be done.
Yeah, but then is it even going to be cannabis at that point?
It's not. It already almost isn't. Because like
I was just going to say
it
that.
is.
I have to watch what I can consume.
Yes.
Because it's either been remediated because of something wrong with it.
Yes.
Or they're putting THCA in it. Or
Yes.
there's an ungodly amount of THC because they're spraying it down with crystals to make it like better.
Yeah,
Or
but
there's artificial terpenes in it.
Yeah. And when I figured out that the majority of these people that own these dispensaries, that own these like grows operations, are just shady car dealers. You know, I was like, oh, dude.
and some of them really are just. I know a couple that own dealerships that.
Yes, Monster Motors owns Fuel 420. Extreme Dodge is owned by owns Choice Labs.
Couple out in Ypsilanti, like a.
Lumen's owned by Bell Tire.
Yeah.
Lumen is owned by Bell Tire.
Yep, a guy out in Ypsi owns Endo. Also owns a car dealership in Elvia.
I started to be like a little detective, and like so my wife lost that dispensary. I did the secure transport, and I was like, oh, this is great. Like they got me my chauffeur's license, and they were just like a young little Jewish couple, like maybe in their 30s. I was like, how the fuck did you afford this license? And money invested from their family. Then they got married. I ended up oddly getting fired from them because of a company that I was going to deliver to one day. The dudes working there didn't like me because of some stuff in high school.
Yeah.
They just couldn't get the fuck over. And I had been there previously, and they're just like, I don't want them on my property. So like I got fired for just fucking rambling my mouth off that day and being a dickhead. But like, I was mad because none of my fucking homies had my back. I had like 5 fucking homies working there, and none of them could just be like, no, chill, daddy, chill.
Yeah.
You know, like they're all just fucking dicks about it. And like, I was like, dude, like you know I have PTSD. You know I'm gonna blow the fuck up.
Yeah.
And you know me not coming to this location is this company's biggest fucking dollar right now.
Yeah.
And if I can't come here, they're gonna fire me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a conflict of interest. Fuck you guys, you know? So, like, I'm not even saying any names because I'm over it in a way, but it was during Christmas. So it sucked.
Yeah.
And in a way, I'm still a little chapped about it because it was one of my best fucking friends. He was one of their sales dudes, and he was like, yeah. You know, and, like, I get it. Like, he was going through some shit, but it sucked, man. So, like, doing that made me want to be more of a detective in the industry. I ended up working for companies like Elite,
Awesome.
fucking Kinship, like, you know, weird companies. I was like, what are you guys doing? You know, because you guys are doing something because there's no reason for you guys to be this big.
I do want to say one thing because I picked this vibe up from you, so I'm sure you will relate. I once said about a friend, I said, well, you know, maybe if I was in his position, I would have done the same thing. Katie looked at me and she said, no, you wouldn't have. And I said, you know what? That's how I'm different. And I feel like I would say that to you. You would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't have.
No, yeah, dude, like it's just not worth it, man. Like that was the difference that day too. Like, and I think that's why I was with my friend, because there was 4 fucking options for him that day to end up being with. Yeah. And like I ended up being like in the end, like I'm happy it was me because I don't think any of you guys would have the fucking balls to have to go through what I had to. Yeah. And still to this day, you know, like I'm actually proud to be able to say, like, he had me there and not you guys, because you guys handle shit fucking wonky. Yeah. Like, that's just not how you do it, man. And, like, now, like, I think because of, like, all of us, like, going our own ways, like, you know, in the cannabis thing and not doing anything together, like, what we could have been, you know, it was his way of being like, no, there's just been bullshit, you know, like.
You guys could have took over the
universe
in Jackson.
Yeah.
You guys could have took it over.
We could have, yeah, we really could have, you know. Some dude right now, some fucking car dealer could be sitting back, you know, chilling and be like, damn, I got a cool ass team right now, you know. And I'm sure they do right now with their own little thing, and maybe I would have been the drama. Yeah. You know, I don't know.
Man. Sorry, go ahead.
No.
So, geez, this has been great. First and foremost, this has probably been one of my favorite interviews, honestly.
I think that's what my customers like, because our store's nothing special. It's where Stone Depot used to be.
Oh, okay.
It's been 5 different fucking places. The guys rented out, and like my wife and the new manager and her were able to give him a heads up and be like, dude, you got to stop doing this, renting this out. It's ruining this location's name. It's not, you know, weird ass spot. Yeah. It's behind a Valvoline. Yeah. And he was like, okay, and, you know, maybe I won't rent it out, and like just run your own company, run your own grow. Yeah. And he's been doing that for like 4 or 5 months after having another company in there that was just stealing from him. Yeah. And it's been doing good and it's great, but at the same time, I'm like, this place is just going to do this the whole time.
Dude, it's funny because we know it as Stone Depot, and I'm sure it hasn't been Stone Depot in a year, maybe 2.
Yeah.
But that's
I'll be like, where are you talking about? I'm like, over by Stone Depot. And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They called it the new name, and I was like,
that place looked really good there, giving out the T-shirts. They had really good weed in the beginning.
It was the T-shirts, I feel like, that did.
Yeah,
dude. Like, I see kids wearing them, not because they smoke the weed.
Yeah. I was in the gym, and I see some dude lifting, and I'm like, customers still come in with it. I'm like, get this shit off, man. We're called boogies now.
Fucking 3 years old.
Because like, even customers will be like, what's this place called now? Because it's been 3 names within like this year. Yeah. So I'm just like, it's Boogies. Yeah. And the guy is a cool jazz musician. He's a really cool dude. But like, he's just an older guy that like, you know, like he doesn't, you know, he wants us to run it for him.
I get it.
And we've been doing what we can for him, and it's short staffed, but like you don't need that many people in these places. You don't need 4 or 5 girls running around bud tending for you.
No, you don't.
You don't even need to tip these guys.
No.
they're already doing, like, after you leave the dispensary, they're swiping on their phone, they're chilling.
much.
No, it doesn't take shit to stock a shelf. It's not like stocking shelves at Walmart or Meijer.
I worked at a dispo and stock was, like I said previously, and I don't think I ever stocked a shelf because I worked the night shift, so like there's nothing to do during the day, so that's they stock.
And sometimes they just pay you for it.
Yeah.
There's a receptionist there making $12 an hour just to check an ID.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy, dude. It does not need to be like this.
Yeah.
And like the prices of weed have gotten ruined, like because the remediation, everything's fucked.
Well, then tax on
Yeah,
taxes.
yeah.
So you already have
Then you
the,
tax
well, you already have the
rates.
16% tax, and now there's an added 24. So
Brands
it's
are
like,
disappearing. There's no consistency. That's the hardest thing to see. Like people come in that are like actually like they're not over consuming. They're actual people that use it for medicinal purposes.
Yep.
And they're like, "Where's this brand? It worked for me. I can't find it anymore."
Yep.
And I'm like, "They went out, or
Yeah.
they got bought out, and now there's some different looking company looking logo."
That's
And they're not
me
the
with
same.
strains, because
Yeah.
there's strains that genuinely would help because I get really bad spinal
yeah,
headaches.
but they lie.
But
Yes.
they're like, oh, we
Yeah.
don't want to grow up because they're like little tiny nugs and we can't make that much money off of it. I'm like, but it was a quality strain.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
We bought Gorilla Glue or the normal Gorilla Glue or whatever it was, and it wasn't because it just wasn't. I could look at it, I'm like, that's not Gorilla Glue. You can just look at it, but the name, I said, so either you're lying or it's not
Yeah,
Gorilla Glue. I mean,
yeah.
one or the other.
That's
like,
happening all over
yeah,
too.
I'm like,
It's
you're
bad.
lying.
Cross genetic breeding, all this stuff. Like the grower that grows for the grow next door for us is really cool. He knows what he's doing, and he's just been saying, "Oh, weed's never going to be the same now."
It can't be.
It
It
can't
can't be. Well, 'cause
No.
it's already, it's so bred within each other.
Yeah.
And you just, I don't think you could actually tell what it is unless you did the whole
I just
testing.
miss
Unless you
Reggie
go to, like,
every once in a while.
Afghanistan, or if you go to like Jamaica, you go to these places where the genetics are still like good.
Real, yeah.
Yeah, but like that's one of the only ways. Like there's other countries that have like the real seeds still, but now it's so fucking crossbred.
Nate, thank you for coming on. Now is the time for a wrap-up question. Don't feel rushed. I just give that as the heads up. But this is the question I was telling you about earlier. Is there anything I did not ask that I should have? Is there anything you want to share?
I guess maybe like how I got into it, because that was a weird one. Maybe I got into it myself a little bit. I landed my first kickflip like right over by Ollie's or Yogi's. I mean, that party store.
Oh, we know it.
It was at my sister's house.
I used to be a drunk. I know it well.
Okay.
I'm not no more, but I used to. I know it well.
Good.
I know it well.
And my sister and brother are recovering addicts from it, and it's hard, dude.
Yeah.
That's a hard one to beat. I'm actually proud of you for that.
Thank you.
And like I landed it when I was probably 14, and I didn't really get into skateboarding until I was like 15 because my mom wouldn't buy me a board.
Okay.
She refused to, actually. I had to get my mom's best friend to do it, and it was this blind lady that my mom and dad took care of until she died. And it was weird because I was really nice to her like my whole entire life, and then I got really resentful because she moved in. I had seen some rough shit with her being blind. Like just being blind's got to be really. Like, it was from diabetes, and like it just came up onto her, you know. So I was like, she wasn't blind her whole life, and like she was really good to me when she
It's
wasn't
got to be
blind.
harder.
Yeah.
Being born blind is one thing, but having vision
like
and then
degenerative
not.
eye.
Oh, my
Like I
God.
said, like I just did dumb shit. Like me and my buddy, like we would do stupid shit. Like I said, she was fucking blind. He's gonna hate it if he's watching this. Like, I did this stupid shit where I got naked and like I just like did this nut tapping thing in front of her. She's like,
What's that? What's that?
this is the lady that got me into skateboarding, basically. But like, I think now, like, because I've never gotten any bad karma. Maybe I'll go blind one day. Like,
Yeah.
but like, I'm just saying, like, it was just dumb shit. Like, I just feel like that was rude and mean to do.
Yeah, but it's karmic retribution.
Yeah. She was a good lady though. She bought my first skateboard for me at this place called EV downtown.
Okay.
Extremely bored, and like I didn't even know where to get a skateboard. I can't remember how I figured out how to get one from there. And then I went in and picked. It was a Devolution board. I actually found a picture of it one day because like it's a World Industries deck, and they made hundreds of different logos and style graphics. But I found it. It was like this Devolution where I went from like evolution, you know, like Darwin, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the little Willy Devil dude, and it said Devolution on it. But
That's cool.
I saw it was cool. I wanted it. The guy told me, he was like, "There's a skateboarder called Jeff Rowley. You know that?" Because like I told him, like somehow I told him my name.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, oh, I want that skateboard. He's like, oh, we don't have any, but we usually get them in. That was my second skateboard I ended up getting was a Rowley deck because I was like, I got to get a Rowley deck then. And he's like, oh, he's got a shoe that's got his last name on it and everything. So I was like, this is the shit, dude. I got a fucking skateboarder with my last name on it. It feels like soccer, you know, like I can relate to that and have my name on my stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But then I landed that ollie, and that's what got me into it because like I didn't need help, you know. That was like anything else I had to have someone throw the ball back to or kick the ball with or some shit.
Yeah. Well, kick it up against the wall, and it's different. I get it.
And like with my ADD or ADHD, it was perfect, dude, because I was like, okay, what's the next thing? I want to try the next thing. What's the next thing? Kickflip. Okay, I want to try kickflip, you know. And then like it just the style of it, like just the graphics, because I was really into drawing and shit. I was like, oh, dude, I can have my own little logo on the decks, whatever one I want. It stood out to me.
Yeah.
That was a big one for me.
Heck yeah, dude. I've loved this. There's something you said that I'm gonna probably remember after, and then I'll remember to say it.
The other night. I still can't come up with it.
So our wrap-up questions are all the same between every guest. This is how we keep everybody. Honestly, I think it's how everybody stays almost related. Everybody who has come on has answered these questions. So you and 140 other people has answered these questions. What is your definition of success?
Having someone miss you after you're gone. I think that's it. I think that's all it is. I really think like if you have someone in the end like that can like genuinely miss you, and that keeps going, you know, like I don't know my ancestors that well, but like I'll look at photos and I'm just like, that's the only reason why I'm here. Like, and I think that's cool. And if you don't have that, and you just like to find someone you can love. Yeah. That when like if something happens to you, like you can miss them, you know, or they can miss you.
Yeah, follow up with the one you stole from me then.
What does legacy mean to you?
That,
Yep, about this. No, and I love that. No, and I do. That was, I have asked 150 people seriously what their definition of success is, and that is my favorite. Even more favorite than the definition I gave. Like, I seriously like that a lot.
Yeah, I didn't even know it made sense too, because like sometimes dyslexia will kick in. I'm like, I don't know if that one made sense.
No, dude, that is as simply put as I could ever put it, and it just, I love it. Just somebody to miss you when that's fucking perfect. Yeah,
I don't even know if I've heard that from anyone. It's just like something recently that like, because I'm just like, it would be crazy, like, because like during that mushroom trip when on Halloween, like I thought we all died, but my thing was like I thought like a nuke went off, and that was like, it's always been my biggest fear, like something happening to New York. Like it's always been my biggest fucking fear. Yeah. They predicted this shit with the 9/11 through movies for years before that, and they always showed us shit with New York being flooded or a nuke. So I'm just like, oh, you stay the fuck away from that one. Because like I feel like if they fucked with anything with phones now, it would be the most chaotic fucking thing. Because like we've been really dependent on these things.
Our country would crumble.
Everything,
everything would crumble.
Everything. I was just in the City Hall signing because we're trying to get a house, and they have this tablet thing. And I'm like, man, my taxpayers went to just this tablet.
Yeah, it's not even paper.
I would argue it just the internet in general.
Yeah.
Not even just phones, just like the internet
in
general.
You just cut off the internet, bam, you're done for.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the Toy Story's not making that movie for like no reason with the kids and the tablets and all that stuff. Like,
they didn't think of that for any reason.
No, it's bad, man. Like, and my kids are still good. They're 50-50 with it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like if I could have that PlayStation at his age, I would still be like,
oh, for sure.
I'm on Fortnite all the time.
For sure.
But he's still really good at keeping it like, okay, I'm outside. And same thing with my daughter, like back and forth, playing around, doing silly things. There's still kids playing with toys. Like my daughter's obsessed with these Neato things right now.
Oh yeah.
There is a healthy balance.
Yes,
there is a healthy balance. We just lost the healthy balance part. Like,
like
there is healthy, screen time. Me with the TV. Me with my TV, dude. I watch TV more than I'd like to admit. Or I'm not even watching it. It's background ambiance, and I'm playing on my phone. So what?
I'll throw some Lord of the Rings on just because I love the music in the background, and then I just scroll on through Reels for an hour or two. I'm like, oh, what the fuck did I just do?
I look up at the phone. I'm like, it's time for bed. I did nothing.
And all our phones are different. Like it's not like if I got on my wife's phone and she gets on mine, it's fit to you, and that's what's creepy.
Yeah,
it's creepy,
scary, dude.
It is because it's just gonna get worse, and it's gonna turn into this stuff. You know, we're gonna be like Tony Stark probably in the next 20 years.
I believe that, dude. Yeah, I bought those meta glasses. I didn't get the newest ones. The ones before that, just like video when we're out in public. The new ones are like, you ever seen Dead Declassified?
Yeah,
Dude, they're like cookie
they are.
glasses.
I
You
can't
can
believe-
I'm like,
and they're not that badly priced.
No,
like,
they're not.
It's like, do I want the iPad or would I rather have that? And it's like, I don't know. The iPad's starting to look like a paperweight now.
Yeah,
They also have a bracelet that projects your phone screen right here, so you can
Yeah, and my watch will do this stuff. Like if I open up like a message, I can just now do this.
Oh, that's wild.
I didn't even know it until one day I was just sitting like Spider-Man when you do that. Like, this is crazy, man. Like technology is getting wild. And the only thing that's getting cheaper, if you've really realized, like if you sit down, what's the two things that like haven't gone up in price, but everything else has, is TVs and our phones.
Yeah, TVs are somehow getting cheaper.
And it's the one thing that can really manipulate us with control through like commercial advertising. Oh, this shit. It's like, well, why would we want to make that expensive?
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna go down a rabbit hole.
I like, yeah. I was about to say, about that before we go too far.
Yeah, you get this podcast right now.
He won't let me do a conspiracy corner.
But seriously, in the future, I'll talk more about it. We're going to do 2 chairs there, and we're going to change the vibe, and we're going to do
Oh, that would be
like
good.
that.
Yeah,
So
that would
we're
be cool.
coming back on for a different type of podcast.
Okay,
Yeah.
my final questions. If you now met you when you were younger, would you get along with him, and vice versa? Would he get along with you?
4 years ago, fuck no. I would have been like sick to my stomach to know that was me. Like maybe a little bit more than 4 years ago.
Yeah.
It's been right before I met my wife. Like that one, like that's why like I don't give my kid's mom shit because like she had a hard birth with her kids, and whatever she's doing is her own thing, and that's fine with me, and whatever I'm doing is my own thing. But like I would not consecutively keep a job. Like I was bopping all about back and forth, and that's not stable. And you want something that's a stable fucking thing when you have a kid.
Yeah.
And that was my thing. Like so like and like I wasn't going to the gym. I stopped skateboarding. I hadn't probably skated in like a whole summer, and that would not have been me.
Yeah.
Old young me would have been like, the fuck? And like it's crazy because I can look at Bam and I was doing what Bam was doing.
Yeah. But
I didn't drink. I wasn't a drinker. And I never got back into like anything like heavy like with psychedelics. Like I've never done coke. I think I fucked around with Dramamine one time and it was a horrible experience. Never got really into pills. My friends gave me Adderall and it worked.
Yeah.
To like be kind of normal, you know?
No, it was just like I felt like the dude from Limitless when I took that.
Yeah.
But like to me, I was like not the person I wanted to be, and then up until just recently, I know now, like I'm like, dude, this is the dad I wanted. You know, like, my dad is not the dad I didn't want, but like if I could have superstitiously like whatever made up a dad in my head, it's that. You know, like my kid will ask me when I go throw the ball. I didn't play baseball. I skateboarded, you know, and I did soccer and basketball. I'm out there trying to like. He pitches great.
Awesome.
He teaches me shit. He can make fun of me about it, and that's what I want, you know, because like I can make fun of him with certain things that he does, you know, that he's not good at, and like that's that father-dad shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, me and my dad used to have too, but you know, like now it's with the sports and everything he loves. Like I try to like stay in with him, you know. I don't want to turn into Darth Vader.
Yeah.
That's like every dad's fear. I feel like
Yeah.
is just being like this piece of shit. Like that's not there, you know. Like and it makes you kiss your sister.
Yeah.
So Katie's last wrap-up question, and then we'll ask you to sign the table when we're closing down.
If you had one word to describe your entire journey from where you started to where you're going, it has to be one word. What is that?
That's hard. One word.
Mm-hmm. Has to be a real word too.
I know, because like I had this like really like I like this new saying, "Till the wheels fall off." I guess one word.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even say fuck it because it's too. I don't know. That's a good one. One word is I can't think of anything really. Cool.
Cool. Okay, cool.
Nate, thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much.
We're gonna close the live, and then I'll ask you to sign our table.
All right, thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching, everybody.